Hi everyone, Keith here. Hey, I'm gonna wait a few minutes to let some people get on because this is one of the more important videos you'll hear. It's gonna be kind of short, but it's gonna be important in regards to the signature, autograph, or mark. So pay attention. We're gonna give people a chance to get on here again. So we'll see how this works. Hi everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, loving life. I'm going to talk to everybody about qualifying a signature, autograph, or mark, and how it pertains to saving yourself from the fraud. So be sure to pay attention. Be sure to educate yourself on what comes after the signature, what comes before the signature, where to place that signature, and what an endorsement and endorsement is, and what are the differences. We'll discuss all of this. Basically, we've been signing documents. We've been doing so wrong. How is that so? We haven't been qualifying the signature, the autograph, or the mark. And when I speak about qualifying a signature, autograph, or mark, I mean that. Signature, autograph, or mark. You do not have to sign any document. You can autograph it. And your autograph can be in print, English printed. And you can also use a mark. I want everybody to remember this guy named Prince. Fantastic musical talent. And he changed his name from a name of written letters in English to a symbol. And he used that as his mark. You do not have to use a signature. Let's try this again. You do not have to use a signature. You can use a autograph, which is just plain printed English. Or if you're French, you can write it in plain printed French. Or you can use a mark. Like I just said, Prince used a symbol to denote that he was the artist formerly known as Prince. And that's what we're going to discuss today, is those as well as how to qualify that. When we think about a signature, we think about cursive. Everybody seems to think you have to sign things in cursive. No, you do not. Period. Plain and simple. You can use an X, just like they used to do in the old days. People could comprehend what another person said, but if they didn't know how to read or write, they could still qualify by making a mark. They could still qualify their comprehension. Now, when we talk about the signature mark or signature, autograph, or mark and qualifying it, when we mean qualify, we mean a reservation is the most common term used, a reservation of rights. I use and have used different forms. I've used reservation of rights. I've used UCC 1-308. I've used retained rights. I've used without recourse. Now I use all rights adhered to. And that is what is meant by qualifying your signature, mark, or autograph. When you use an autograph, mark, or signature without qualifying it, that leaves that document open. And people will abuse it and take advantage of it, commit fraud upon you, because they know you don't know enough to qualify your mark, autograph, or signature so that they can't commit fraud. When you qualify your signature, they may still attempt it, but once you qualify your signature, that shows proof, intent prior to. And let me, before I go any further, let me explain when we make these reservations of rights, adhering to rights, qualifying it, has to be done first, showing prior intent. So before you sign, on the signature line, not above it and not below it, but on the signature line, before you sign, autograph, or mark, you make your reservation of rights. And that reservation of rights can be explained in many ways. It can be done by using UCC 1-308. It can be used as I reserve all rights reserved, none waived, without recourse. And like I said, I now use all rights adhered to. The qualification on that, what that does, it lets anybody know that knows what they're doing. In other words, your governing people, the higher ups. Now, this probably isn't going to happen too easily on your lower levels. But when you start sending your documents to the higher level people that know what's going on, and they see that qualified signature, autograph, or mark, they're going to know exactly what's going on. And if you're already involved in a fraudulent situation on your local level, and they're not paying attention to it, and you send that document in affidavit form to your higher government officials, your state secretary of state, attorney general, the state attorney general, the U.S. Department of State attorney general, they're going to pay attention to it. And those that are below them, they're going to notice them. They're going to give them notice. Hey, you better leave this guy alone. He's qualified his signature, and you can't do what you're doing. So remember, when you're signing these documents, you do not have to sign. I never sign anymore. I put my first calling, what I was called when I was born, Keith, and I use capital K, lowercase e, lowercase I, lowercase t, lowercase h, and then I place a red, and I do it in red ink, and I place a red thumbprint right next to it with the thumbprint attached to the last letter, the H. That shows an attachment to the living man. And like I said, you put that qualification first. So when you qualify your signature, like I do, you put your reservation first, and then your name, and then your seal. Your thumbprint is your seal. It's your own personal seal. It cannot be duplicated by another man. So understand, you're going to put, like I do, all rights retained, semicolon, the name that you use, and then a red thumbprint attached to the last letter. That is a fully qualified signature. And it's done in many places. You can do it on a signature line, which is most common. And then on these documents that you enter into the courts, I highly suggest everybody start turning every page of your document over. And on the bottom right-hand corner, placing a 2-cent stamp. And then from the top left to bottom right, put your name across that stamp. And then a red thumbprint attached to the edge of the stamp, just like you did to the edge of the last letter of your name. So, when we talk about qualifying your signature, it's very important. Because without that, that's the reason for the fraud. Like I've explained in a couple videos in the past, our education system is the biggest problem in this whole thing. We started giving up our responsibility of educating our younger generations to somebody else who then didn't teach them how to qualify their signature, didn't teach them how to establish a private trust, didn't teach them how to establish a private membership association, didn't teach them that we are in fact our own judge, our own court. We are in fact our own postmaster, post office. We are in fact our own banker, our own bank. We gave up those responsibilities to somebody else for convenience of doing other things that we enjoyed more. I suggest everybody start taking back those responsibilities and do it now. If you really want to fight this without having to perform violence, I suggest you start educating yourself so you can pass that education on to your younger generations. It's the only way we're going to be able to do this. Because even through a violent act of war, it is only a temporary secession. It's only temporary peace. Because then the fraud, without the education of knowing what we're doing, the fraud will return. The only way to beat this is to change what we've been doing insistently the same over and over again, going to war. We are not supposed to be warring people. We're supposed to be peaceful, intelligent people. We are supposed to be stewards upon this earth to all creatures, including our brothers and sisters. So again, when you qualify a signature, you help prevent the fraud that's being perpetrated against yourself. Without that, you are allowing that fraud. Educate yourselves. If you're going to continue signing these commercial documents that then turn around and become instruments, financial instruments, perpetrating fraud against you, then I suggest you start learning how to sign them. Educate yourselves well on qualifying a signature. And remember, when you sign a check, it's a negotiable instrument. So now they have your signature that's not qualified, and they put it on another document saying that you okayed the negotiation. If you qualify your signature on that check, it is no longer negotiable. You've now ended the negotiations. To further explain this, see my post on Universal Postal Union, UPU. It's just a few posts back. Check this stuff out. And like I said, educate yourself. Cher Wilson, if you're watching, I hope this helps you out. Please post this video on your post. Meantime, if it weren't for you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. God bless. Love you. Have a great day.